So today we're going to talk about adding two matrices, and don't worry, we are going to keep it super simple. Okay, what is matrix addition? So let's say you have two matrices, and let's take these two examples. And you can think matrices as grids of numbers. So each grid has rows, horizontal lines, and columns uh, as vertical lines. So if both matrices are of same size, meaning they have same number of rows and same number of columns, then we say we are allowed to add them together. So if you consider first example over here, this matrix A is with two rows and two columns. On the other hand, matrix B is with two rows and two columns. So that means these two matrices are of same size, and then we are allowed to add them together. So here's how you do the addition. Okay, so when you're adding two matrices together, that means you have to add the numbers in the matching positions. So let me explain this. So let's say you are interested in adding two matrices together, A and B. And if you do so, this is what you're going to do. So you have to add the numbers in the matching position. So let's take matrix A. So in this matrix A, top left corner of this matrix, you have number 3. On the other hand, in matrix B, in top left corner, you have 5. So that means you have to add the two numbers together, 5 and 3, which is 8. And you're going to put in the addition matrix. That is your new matrix. In the new matrix, this is your first element. Next, let's try to add top right corner, the element in the top right corner. So this is 9, and on this matrix, you have number 1. So if you add them together, you will get 10. And next, bottom left, on A, which is 2, and here it's 3. So 2 plus 3, it's 5. And then bottom right, 0 plus 1, which is 1. So this is your new resulting matrix. So this is how you add two matrices together. So it's like this is something like you're combining two puzzle pieces piece by piece with this is but just with numbers. But hold on. So what happens if the sizes of the matrix doesn't match? So now let's say you have a matrix A. Okay, let me use another name, C. Let's say I have a matrix C with 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is a matrix with 2 rows and 2 columns. And I have another matrix D like this. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this matrix D is with 3 rows and 3 columns. So now in this case, you cannot add C and D. It's because their sizes does not match. So the sizes don't match. So you cannot add C and D. But you can add C to A or else B because they are all these three matrices are with same size, right? So why we cannot add matrices with different sizes? It's because there's no one-to-one match for each number. So one matrix might have number in a spot where doesn't the other one doesn't have. So addition doesn't make much sense here. Okay, so quick summary: when you are adding two matrices with same size, you have to add corresponding numbers. That means just ones in the same spot. So if they are with different sizes, the addition is not allowed. Okay, so let's try some examples. Okay, so the first example, you have two matrices and you are asked to add them together. So this matrix is of size 2, 2 rows and 2 columns. And on the other hand, we have this matrix. So this is also with 2 rows and 2 columns. So you should be able to add these two matrices. Okay, so let's try to add. So here you don't have any numbers. These are like symbols. So I'm going to add these two symbols together. So here, first of all, we have a top left element. I'm going to add them together. So first element is going to be A plus W. And next, I'm going to take top right elements B and Y, and I'm going to add them together. I'm going to use another color, B plus Y. So likewise, you can do other two elements as well, like this. So this is how you add 2 by 2 matrices. Moving on to the next example. On the next example, this matrix over here, we have 3 rows with 1, 2, 3, 4 columns, and the other matrix is also with 3 rows and 4 columns. So that means we are allowed to add these two matrices. So let's try to add this. Okay, the first element is going to be, you have to add 1 plus -1, which means it's a 0 because 1 and -1 will cancel out. So the first entry is going to be a 0. Next, let me take 3, and on the other matrix the matching position is 4, so you have to add them together. So 3 plus 4 is 7, and then -8 plus 2, -6, and then 0, 4, it's 4. So let me complete the second row, which is going to be 8, 4, 5, -1. So I add these corresponding numbers. 3 plus 5, 8, 6 plus -2, 4, 1 plus 4, 5, -3 plus 2, it's a -1. The last row is going to be -9, 6, and then 7, 1. So this is your resulting matrix. It just, you have to add the matching positions. 2 plus -1 is a positive 1. Next example, you're given two matrices and you're asked to add the two matrices together. Again, these are like with 2 rows and 2 columns. This is also with 2 rows and 2 columns, so you're allowed to add them. So let's add them together. So it's going to be 2 plus -2, it's a 0. Then -3 plus +3 is again a 0. And -1 plus +1, a 0. 4 plus -4, a 0. So this is your resulting matrix. And this result, we have 2 rows and 2 columns. Okay, so next I would like to talk about how to subtract two matrices. So now you already know how to add matrices. Now let's talk about how to subtract two matrices. And yes, it is just as easy as addition. Okay, so let's say you have two matrices. So let's name this matrix as M and this matrix as N. Okay, so now say, just like addition, now you want to do matrix subtraction. So how do we do subtraction in matrix? But also here also you have to make sure the two matrices you're trying to subtract, they should have the same size. That means same number of rows and same number of columns. If they do, that means you can subtract them. So this is how it works. Okay, so when we are doing subtraction, again you have to do the subtraction with the matching positions. So let's say you have to take the difference of M and M. So you have to subtract 2 from 3 because these are the two numbers in the matching positions in M and M. So if you do the subtraction, 3 minus 2, it's going to be 1. And if you subtract 0 from 1, you'll get a 1. And next, 5 from 5, it's a 0. And then you have to subtract 1 from 4, then you'll get a 3. So this is how you do your subtraction. You do this for every corresponding pair in the two matrix. Okay, so overall, when you're doing subtraction, the two matrices should have the same size. That means same number of rows and same number of columns. And then when you're doing the subtraction, you have to subtract each element, number in n from the matching number in m. And if the sizes don't match, you don't do the subtraction, because subtraction is not allowed. Okay, so let's try some examples. Okay, so here you have to complete these matrix operations. So here you have two matrices, and these matrices are with 3 rows and 3 columns, and you are asked to subtract. And this operation is allowed because both matrices have the same size. So let's do the subtraction. So let's take these two elements and let's subtract 1 from 2. It's going to be 1. And then here you have to subtract -1 from 2. So that means let me write the calculation. In that way you know how to do this. So 2 minus 1, then you have -1 minus 2. Let's remove the brackets. And then 3 minus 4, 5 minus 5, -4 minus -2, 2 minus 3, 1 minus 6, 4 minus 2, -2 minus -3. So let's simplify this. So this is going to be 1, 0, -5, -3. And over here, this one will be like -4 minus multiplied by minus. It's a plus sign, and +2, which means the answer is going to be -2. And this is +2, -1, -1. And over here, this one, you can simplify this as -2 plus 3, and this is going to be +1. And this is your resulting matrix. So this is how you do your subtraction. Moving on to the next example, you have 3 matrices and you are asked to do these matrix operations. So let's start with first 2. Okay, first of all, you have to make sure both matrices are with same size. So the first matrix is with 3 rows and 2 columns, and the second matrix also with 3 rows and 3 columns. And here also 3 rows and 2 columns, which means the sizes match. We are allowed to do addition or subtraction. So let's start with the first one. So let's do the subtraction for the first 2 matrices. So 1 minus -5, it's going to be like 1 minus -5, and then 4 minus 2, 3 minus 3, -2 minus 12, 6 minus 5, 1 minus 3. And then you have the other matrix. So I'm going to write it as it is. 2, 3, -4, -8, 2, 0. And let's do the simplification. So this one over here, it's going to be a +5, and 1 plus 5, it's a 6. And this is going to be a 0. And this is 14, -14. And this is +2, 1, -2. And then you're going to have the other matrix, which is 2, 3, -4, -8, 2, 0. Okay, so now we have 2 matrices and you have to add them together. Let's do the addition. So to do the addition, you have to take these 2 numbers and you have to add them together. It's going to be 8, and over here 5, -4, -7, -14 plus 2, -12, and this is 0, so -2. So this is your answer.